to the end of the regular season in girls soccer 2020, an abbreviated season, as we've talked about all year. The regular season will end next week, and section play getting underway 2 weeks from last night.
And these games do matter because this game is going to have an impact on what the section is going to be played out for both teams.
Both teams part of Section 8 AA, and so they could compete again, or certainly this game may have an impact on seeding for these teams and how they end up. The section play, as I mentioned, will start on October 14th, and then the semifinals and final that following week, the 20th and the 22nd of October. There will be no state tournament this year. That was officially announced today at the Board of Directors meeting for the Minnesota State High School League, who gave their blessing to winter sports in a modified fashion, much as the fall season has been, with fewer games or matches depending on the sport, and but a go-ahead for all of the winter sports at this point anyway, but no fall state tournaments for 2020. Maple Grove coming off that state championship year last year, Sig, and their one-loss record isn't quite what it was a year ago, as you see the banner hits here tonight. Lost some really good talent. They still have some a decent number of players who were on that state tournament team, but I think the off-season hurt them like it did a lot of teams, not having time to get scrimmages in and just a chance to play much together in the off-season. And to be honest, not many players got much of a club experience at all this year. So, and again, I understand everybody's in the same boat, but when you're a younger team with some new players coming in, you'd like to have that extra time to try to mesh together if possible.
Yeah, it made for a real challenging season because, as you were saying, players were not playing summer soccer. They're not traveling. They're just not getting into condition as they would normally be doing. They were playing the first 2 or 3 league games as their warm-ups or getting ready for the season, and it's a short season, so it's gone pretty quick. It's been exciting. Been some good matches. This one should be even Steven. I'd say both teams have good opportunities to win this match.
Elk River's had a good year. They're 4-4-1. Coach Brian Stoiter said playing better lately. Their defense has been really good, but he did admit tonight it's going to really be a test against a talented Maple Grove team that will really challenge them. This is also their first game on turf, Sig. They have a grass field at Elk River, so that'll change next year. They'll get turf, but all their away games have been at Anoka Hennepin schools, which right now are still grass. That district is switching over to turf as well in the near future, but this will be their first challenge. He said it's different. You know, girls play on it a lot in the off season, but when you haven't played on it in maybe 2 months or so, or whatever, perhaps longer, it's a little bit of a difference as far as how you pass and the angles and how fast the ball is going to roll.
Yeah, it's quite a bit different. The speed, the bounce, the intensity of the bounce. These are all things that come into play when the ball's moving around. But I'm sure they'll pick it up quickly. I think we're announcing the Maple Grove starting players.
Crimson coming in with a record of 5-3-1 on the season. Elk River 4-4-1 on the year. And could again play, as I mentioned, in the upcoming section tournament. There's a look at Ingrid Kotzman, the junior goalkeeper. She will get the start tonight. It's split time with Jordan Lampker this year, but Kotzman gets the start tonight. Britton Lund, Hannah Zahn, Sarah Nitzler, Charlie Draheim, Elaine Gates, Avery Toms, Kendall Quall, Kylie Baronic, Kelly Collins, and Macy Sides, the rest of the starting lineup for Maple Grove. For Elk River, it's Brianna Bernardson in goal. The rest of their lineup tonight: Lindsay Redapenning, Jessica Emberson, Sophia Tobin, Britta DeMar, Ava Johnson, Callie Patraw, Peyton Colas, Leah Brown, Paige Crawford, and Carmen Galante. Elk River will finish their season on Tuesday at home as they take on Osseo. And Maple Grove's final match at Andover on Tuesday will be a good test for Ben Levon's squad as they take on a talented Huskies team. Leading scorer for Elk River coming into the match tonight, number 14, Ava Johnson, the junior forward with 11 goals and 2 assists on the year. Maple Grove, not quite the scoring punch they've had in some of the years past. Emma Fournier, who's out tonight, 5 goals and 5 assists. She is expected back for next week's match against Andover. Quinn Omar is their next leading scorer. She has 4 goals and 4 assists on the season. A little bit of a cool night, Sig, not as windy as we had earlier in the day, but still a little bit of a breeze and temperature a little below 50 degrees as we get ready to start.
Yeah, the first game was a little interesting. That wind gust was right about 25 miles an hour. So it's not as severe as it was as we are underway.
Crimson again in the crimson with the white, and Elk River in the white with the black and red trim. We'll see how what the offense looks like early, Sig, here. If Elk River looks to attack, and teams just kind of feel each other out these first few minutes and decide how to play their style from there. Kick by Kotzman out to midfield. As Maple Grove gains possession, they get the ball across midfield.
There's a little miscue on the pass, gives the ball over to the Elks.
They push it out wide to the right side. Elk player stumbled, but off of her and out, and a throw in here for Maple Grove. They get the ball to midfield where it's taken back by Elk River. Taken back by the Crimson and pushed ahead left side by Charlie Draheim. Onto the foot of Macy Sides. And then it's Avery Toms who takes it from Kendall Quall. Now they'll work it back up the left side. Out to midfield. Onto the foot of Kylie Baronic. Left side, Kelly Klon's pass gets intercepted and killed by Patraw. Breaking up that scoring try. She got it across midfield. Back in possession of the Crimson. Here's Klons with it, number 21. Drops it back to Hannah Zahn. And they'll work it down to the right side. Good short passing game here. Onto the foot of Gates, who then gets rid of it. Back in the middle of the field, the sides. And driven by Lund toward the net, headed back by the Elks. Long shot away, and it's off the post. Driven by Zahn. Eluded Bernardson, who was off the post and ricocheted out. Throw in Maple Grove. A good scoring chance early here for the Crimson. Good 1v1 battle there, and then sent out of bounds by Patraw again. Throw in for Draheim. Onto the foot of Baronic. Drops it back for Zahn. Pushed by Gates to the right.
The defender fell down and gave her a free chance to move the ball around. Maple Grove doing some good passing. That one's picked off.
Broken up in the middle by Paige Crawford. Now the Elks get it back to midfield and sent back the other way by the Crimson. And they'll reset. Back in their own end. Pass by Quall. Rolls out, and we get a throw in for the Elks. That one's broken up and sent out by Quall. Another throw in. Or excuse me, this is off of, played by Elk River out toward midfield.
And neither team is wasting any time on these throw-ins.
No. That pass missing on the throw-in, taken back by Maple Grove. Quall got it to the middle of the field to Zahn. Beating it out on the right, that's Sarah Nisler, number 4. Being marked up there, but Nisler still with control. played by Gates. She'll drive it toward the net, and the save made by Bernardson, the sophomore keeper. Coach Stoiter said we'll almost certainly see Emily Ditter as well. The senior goalkeeper will likely play the second half tonight for Elk River. Now it's Britta DeMar with a number 12. Tried to get the pass. That didn't connect, and Maple Grove turns it back to midfield. Sent back down by the Elks. Loose ball, trying to get to it was Galante, but Maple Grove got it. They'll work it back again. All the way back on the back line to Quall. Toward midfield, stopped by Baronic. Out of play off of Crimson. Quick throw in. Elk River trying to set it up. The pass missing, trying to get it to DeMar. Maple Grove playing it back to midfield. To the sideline, throw in. Elk River. Throw in coming for Tobin. Senior defender got a foot on it again, and then was the last one to touch it. We'll get a throw in for Maple Grove. Intercepted right off the throw in and sent deep by Tobin. Out comes Kotzman to play it, getting there a couple of steps ahead of Ava Johnson. Kicks it out to her right. Near the sideline, Elks get a double team there and take the ball back. Well played by Elk River. They try to send it toward the front of the net. That gets blocked. There's a shot that goes in. Their first shot of the night, and it's into the back of the Crimson net, and the Elks lead 1-0.
Saw the opening and took advantage of it.
Take a look at it again.
Here it is again, left-footed, right-footed shot. Just over the outstretched arm of the keeper.
So Elk River grabs a 1-0 lead just over 6 minutes into the match.
And foul called against the Elks.
We get a free kick here for Maple Grove. Ball played left side to Draheim. That gets blocked, comes onto the foot of Zahn. Back to the middle, the sides. And off to Draheim. Klons had a foot on it but couldn't control the ball, and Elk River gets it back. Leah Brown played it back. That gets intercepted by Draheim. And a whistle and a foul. Klons got knocked down. Look at Elk River's Leah Brown, who scored the goal. Put her team up 1-0. 6:20 into the first half. Here's Klons trying to attack from the left side, looking to get past Chobin but can't. Cleared by the Elks out from the middle of the field.
Tried to get across, but the Elk defense was right there to knock it out. Here's a good transition for the Elks coming the other side.
DeMar trying to push on Draheim, going deep. Regains control again, crossing it to the middle. Ball dropped back. Elks player fell down there, and Maple Grove regains control. Klons with it. Pass ahead to Baronic, back to Klons, and dropping it for Sides. Sent it all the way to the right side. Good touch on the ball there. Pass ahead, trying to get it to Baronic, and that's broken up by Patraw. Knocked down though. Maple Grove back on the attack again. Pass in front. Again taken away before Baronic can make a play on it. Nisler on the far side. Goes toward the corner. And good takeaway by Elk River's Jessica Emerson. Keeps it in play. A lot of times near the sideline, Sig, you'll see a player play it out,
right,
and take away the imminent danger, but don't get possession for their team. That time, Emerson was able to control it before it went out and sent it upfield.
Good hustle.
Played about 10 minutes here in the first half. Elk River leading Maple Grove 1-0. Ball passed ahead, whistle, and another foul on Elk River.
Little elbow in the back that time gives the Crimson the free kick.
Well, they're wasting no time. So you mentioned sit on throw-ins, that free kick. They were right on it and got it back into play. It result in an advantage there, but
no, I just looked down, looked up, and they were already back in action. So I guess we have to keep our eye on the game.
Absolutely. Draheim. Pass missing, trying to connect with Sides. Elk River intercepts. And a good break up in the middle of the field by Toms. Make sure that Elk River didn't get a through ball there. Here's Sides with it again. Working one-on-one against Colas.
Maple Grove content to move the back part of the midfielder and go field to field. Shot taken.
Yeah, shot on net by Hannah Zahn there. Second save for Bernardson. Good kick out to midfield. Skips across a couple of bounces, and Elk River gains control with DeMar. Right side. And pass Klons. DeMar goes down, ball out. A throw in for Elk River as DeMar's a little slow to get up.
I think some of the fans were looking for a foul, but both players were shoulder to shoulder, and we get a goal kick. And well, we have substitutions. Center referee is George Statinsky. AR1 is John Norstad. AR2 is Jake Holm.
Ella Gottfredson, senior defender, number 25, into the match for the first time tonight.
Ooh, almost a dangerous kick, and almost another one.
Header by Grove. Veronica got a foot on it. Gottfredson had it momentarily, and then taken away by the Elks. Pass by Crawford to her left. Trying to get it all the way through, and it rolls to Coxman, who gobbles it up for the Crimson and quickly gets the goal kick out toward midfield. A couple of headers by the Elks. Another one toward the Crimson net, driven back out by Toms. To midfield, the Zahn.
And Maple Grove gets set on their offense if they can get around that defender. But
Nisler working hard to get past her. Couldn't quite do it. It's back to the middle of the field and onto the foot of DeMar. Bounced right side by the Elks, but Crimson are there to play it. Elk River intercepted it, but they couldn't keep it in play. Throw in for Draheim and the Crimson. Missed high on her pass, but then it comes right back to the foot of Klons anyway. She'll get it to the middle of the field. It's Zahn. And a nice takeaway there by Colas. Trying to drive it up toward Brown. Maple Grove took that away. Elks get it back. So one passes, and that's about it right now, Sig.
Yeah,
one on each side.
It's
one touch.
Right, so one touch, two touch, and you better get rid of that ball. Oh, they found a way to slow down the throw, and they have substitutions.
Kendra Lingman, Peyton Meyer, Michaela Hitty, and one other substitute. I did not see the fourth number of the player who came in, Sig, but they brought in 4 at that whistle. Their first substitutions of the night. Get a throw in here for Elk River.
Yep, maintaining possession, moving the ball down the field. Oops, now they turn it over.
Throw into midfield. Patraw sending it. Toms returned it to midfield for the Crimson. Zahn gains control. Nice little footwork to get past one player. Gets back up and then eventually did lose the ball to Colas. All the way to the left side. That pass failed to connect for Elk River. Now the Elks get it back. Lingman pushed it ahead, but Maple Grove had the last line of defense there and able to keep it out of danger. On the play by Toms. Throw in for the Elks. And out. Yeah, Lingman couldn't keep it in play.
Just dribbled over the line.
Elks get it back though. Patrick out of the middle of the field, a touch on it. Toms arcs it high to midfield for Maple Grove. Taken back by Elk River as a Crimson player went down. Elks on the attack. Pass intercepted. Broken up. A nice play by Kendall Quall. Quall gets it back to her foot again. For Toms. Now they work the right side back to the middle of the field. And Elk River had it for a moment and intercepted by Zahn, and then Elk River regains possession. Elks have it. 35 yards out, driven on net, and the save by Kotzman. I like the aggressiveness. No, it wasn't necessarily a great scoring chance, but you put it on net and see what happens, right?
Exactly.
And you weren't going to get past that defender, didn't look like.
Might as well take it then.
Right.
Hope for the best. They spend end-to-end action. That's a lot of midfield action.
Race for this one. Who's going to get there first? Kotzman coming out and makes the play on the ball.
Well, that's a gutsy play to go that far out.
That's Ava Johnson, the player who has 11 goals on the season for the attacking for Elk River. Elks intercept the goal kick here. And a whistle and a foul on Elk River. Get possession back to Maple Grove. Just under 23 minutes to play here in the first half. 1-0, Elk River.
Taking their time, moving the ball around. Nice return pass.
Yeah, nice little give and go there, but then broke it up and sent back the Crimson way by Elk River. Left side, Elks rolling the ball. It's intercepted by Toms. Zahn had it for a moment, then coming in aggressively was Crawford for Elk River. Hit a foot on it. We'll get a throw in here for the Crimson as Lund races up to take the throw in. She'll get it in for Nisler. Pass gets intercepted by Colas. Out of the left side. And off Klons and out, throw in Elk River. Grove returning it to the back line as Quall has it. Toms to Quall, back to Toms again. Rolls it to Draheim. Cross midfield, Beranek gains control. Toms now to Lund. Midfield and gets intercepted there by Lexi Jimenez. Battle on the sideline, won by Maple Grove. Throwing Lund.
But it's been a lot of battling in this first half. A lot of pushing and shoving, a lot of bumping into each other. It's a very fast-paced match so far.
Beranek with it, and then take it away from her from behind by Crawford. Back come the Crimson again. Klons getting it to Zahn. Nice little move. Hannah Zahn getting herself free. Try to feed it through for Beranek, and that gets broken up.
It's just way too much traffic on the defense.
Well defended by Callie Patraw, one of the senior captains for Elk River. We have a 1-0 lead as we've passed the halfway point of the first half. Long, hard shot by Klons, but misses left. And it's a goal kick for Elk River. Substitution for the Elks, Carmen Galante back in, number 22. Here's Bernardson with the goal kick. Whistle, foul. This one on the Crimson, and Elk River will get a free kick near midfield. Long shot driven well wide of the net, and we have a goal kick for Maple Grove.
More substitutions for Elk River.
Seven in for the Elks, number 5, McKenna Rother.
McKenna Rother, freshman midfielder and defender in the match for the first time for the Elks. Goal kick skips past a few players. The Elks push it deep, but nobody there to gain possession for Elk River.
And lets that go over the end line for a goal kick. Another substitution for the Elks. This is Leah Brown, starter, coming back in.
7 in for the Elks, number 18, Leah Brown.
Off the goal kick, it's Galante who got a foot on it, and Maple Grove got it right back. Sent it deep, ball is loose. Beranek unable to play it away from Emerson. Elk River quickly back into offense.
Yeah, the defense came back and collapsed on it, but if she would have been able to get past those two defenders, they would have been off to the races.
Right. Throw in here for Elk River. Taken by Lauren Gregory. The sideline off the Elks. And the throw in by Draheim out to midfield, but it rolls right to Elk River. Long kick ahead, headed back by Maple Grove, back to Kotzman.
That time Kotzman calling off the defender, saying she's got it, she can punt it. Didn't get a whole lot on that one. It ended up on Elk River, but now it's back and forth again.
Draheim playing it up to midfield, trying to get it to Baranek rather. Now it's Klons with it. 21 gets bumped off the ball by Patraw. That drew a whistle and a foul on Elk River. Ball back to Tom. Lund on the right side gets another play on it. Nisler, and take it away from her. Well defended by Elk River. Got it up about 10 yards and then turned it right back to Maple Grove. We'll reset. Draheim driving it out to midfield. That's a little giving there. Gates to Baranek. Maple Grove on the run. Zahn trying to get it back to Baranek with a lot of traffic there, and Elk River able to break up that pass and send it across midfield. Race for the ball toward the sideline. Lund gets knocked off the ball, able to play it ahead though, and then off Elk River. We're going to get substitutions for Maple Grove. Micah Modine and Quinn Omar both into the lineup. Throw in coming for Elk River here. After the foul call on Maple Grove. So down that left side. Broken up by Draheim and up. We'll get another throw in for the Elks. Short pass back, chip forward. That one gets blocked, rolls back toward midfield, and sent back deep again by Patraw, but right to Kotzman, who's got it in net for Maple Grove. Header by Zahn. Rolls out. Maple Grove unable to control it. We'll get a throw in near side for the Elks by Tobin. Substitutions for the Elks. Britta DeMar and Peyton Colas both back in. Pass missing at midfield, trying to connect with Modine. Sent deep back by Patraw. Ball loose, middle of the field in front of the Maple Grove net before Kotzman comes out to pick it up. Didn't get a lot on that goal kick. Elks intercept. Pass missing to Brown, played by Lund for Maple Grove. Turning and firing Omar and sending it across midfield. Play at midfield, Zahn. From Lund, left side, Quall pushing it to Draheim. foot of Omar.
See, Elk River is bringing up those forwards when the Crimson are moving the ball back and forth deep in their zone, trying to put some pressure on them.
Omar able to take the ball away there for Tobin. Tobin and Omar battling again. Tobin able to shield Omar away from the ball and allow teammate to drive it across midfield. Good header by Zahn. Played by the Elks toward midfield again. Knocked down by Godfredson there. Play to the right by Gates. Almost a turnover there, but Lund able to keep Hitty away from the ball. Well, that would have been a great scoring chance for the Elks.
Certainly would have.
Short pass up the middle of the field. Brown gets a little touch on it. And Draheim and Colas after it. Race for the ball to the corner. And it's out of play. Goal kick for Maple Grove.
7 in for the Crimson, number 12, Ella Conger. And number 15,
Lauren Zimmerman, number 15, and Ella Conger, number 12. Into the lineup now for the Crimson. We've seen both coaches go to the bench, Sig, often, and
liberally, yes.
get everybody into the match.
Well, keep the fresh legs out there, because this is a very fast-paced game.
Godfredson racing up the right side for, that's Zimmerman just into the match, number 15, not 25. Would have run on it for Maple Grove. It's out of play, and
I think it's going to be a goal kick.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the flag, but
no, we're gonna
now they're saying it's a corner.
Get our first corner kick of the night instead.
Okay, that's why I didn't see a flag raised up. It was staying down.
Quinn Omar will set it up here on the corner. Drives it toward the front of the net, looking for a header. Draheim's shot attempt getting blocked. Elks can't quite get it to midfield before Maple Grove intercepts again. Draheim crossing it to the middle, and that's played away by the Elks' Jessica Emerson. Maple Grove getting it one more time. And sent out of danger once more by the Elks. Pass broken up left side there by Jimenez. Out of play, throw in Maple Grove. Down to the 8-minute mark to play here in the first half. Elk River scoring 6 minutes into the match. They have maintained that lead throughout the rest of this half. Out of play this time on the Crimson. Throw in for Elk River. Crawford back in for Elk River, number 21. Loose ball sent deep by Patraw to midfield. Godfredson and out of play. Throw in Elk River.
Maple Grove sweeper was bad there to get that out.
Played out by Maple Grove. Throw in for Elk River.
Seven for the Elks, number 14, Eva Johnson.
Omar goes out. No, she doesn't. Sorry about that. I thought they were subbing. Kosman with the ball and punt coming up. Right to a white shirt.
At midfield, it's Crawford with it for Elk River. Played back ahead from midfield by Patraw. Crimson have it again. And Tom's playing it back to her keeper, then onto the foot of Quall. And pass intercepted there by DeMar. And the Elks trying to attack with Colas. Still with it. Gets the pass to Tobin. In deeper for Brown. Trying to hook a shot. It gets headed away by the Crimson.
But not all the way out. And Elk River maintains their pressure.
Long shot, that gets blocked. Another try and off the crossbar and out. Off the foot of Britta DeMar. Boy, about a foot shorter, and that's over the head of Kotzman and in, I think.
Yep. Yeah, there's no way Kotzman was going to get that one.
And it stays at 1-0 with under 5 minutes to play in the half. Crimson pass gets intercepted. Here's a through ball ahead for DeMar. Getting in alone. And shot and went wide.
Oh my.
Unless it went off the Crimson player who might have gotten back there defensively to get a foot on it. I think she did. And it was Toms that got back there. One.
Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, that was a great defensive play. I didn't see it initially, but it was Toms who came back and kept that from going into the back of the net. Terrific play by the sophomore defender. Does give Elk River their first corner kick. Patraw out in front, gets controlled by Maple Grove. Here's a shot on net, though, and saved by Kotzman.
So Elk River trying to knock on the door, and they didn't quite make it. Nice defensive play by the Crimson defense.
Here Tom's getting back and taking away what would have been a goal for DeMar, and a 2-0 Elk River lead. But it stays 1-0. 3:20 to go in the half. Ball sent deep, and Kotzman will race out to play this one. Drive it out to midfield. Header by the Elks there. Elk River with it again on the back line. They'll play up to midfield toward the sideline, and it's out off of Elk River. And Azan, number 3, back in for Maple Grove, senior midfielder. And she replaces Gates. Throw in Maple Grove. Elks get it though, and over the touchline, another throw in for the Crimson. Pass to Wall. Ahead with Zimmerman. Broken up and sent back Maple Grove side. Brown just kept away by Baronic from that ball. Zahn, middle of the field. Lays it up ahead, trying to get it to Modine. Savo down to 1:20 to go. Elk River trying to get another scoring chance here before halftime. Pushing it deep toward that left corner, and over the touchline and over the end line. It's a goal kick for Maple Grove.
Avery Tom's taking the kick. 1 minute remaining in the first half. 1 minute.
Peyton Meyer and Lauren Gregory back in for Elk River. Final 40 seconds of the half.
See if Maple Grove can set up something. The last offensive charge of the half.
Another 20 seconds. We will get another throw in here. Trying to get it in for Modine, but it comes back to the Elks. DeMar. And Elk River able to get it out to midfield, and that will be the end of the first half of play. Good 40 minutes of soccer here tonight. And Elk River, see with that early goal holding up and leading 1-0.
Well, it's been an interesting first half. Both teams are pretty good at moving the ball around. A lot of one touch, two touch. If you do any more than that, the other team is going to be right on you. A lot of action, a lot of activity going down there. There's no shortage of fast-paced action.
We'll take a break. We'll come back, look at some first half highlights and more. You're watching high school girls soccer on CCX. Our halftime score, Elk River 1, Maple Grove 0.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Beautiful first night of October 2020. A cool evening here in Maple Grove. 45 degrees the temperature now as Elk River holds a 1-0 lead on Maple Grove here at halftime in our Northwest Suburban Conference match. Speaking of Northwest Suburban Conference, look at the conference standings coming in to play tonight. Champlain Park suffering their first loss of the season last week, losing to Totino Grace 2-1. Centennial and Champlain Park right now tied for first at 8-1. Rogers 6-2-1, having a very good season. Tied with Blaine for third place. Then it's Totino Grace. Maple Grove coming in 5-3-1, just ahead of Andover at 4-3-2. And the rest of the conference, Elk River, as you can see, 4-4-1. Anoka, Coon Rapids, Armstrong, Spring Lake Park. Osseo's only win came in the season opener against Park Center to start the season. Let's look at highlights from the first half of play, opening 40 minutes. Maple Grove scoring chance. Hannah Zahn, really best scoring chance of the night for Maple Grove. That one went off the post. A few saves, though, in the first half for Bernardson, that time stopping Gates. Elk River getting the loose ball here, and Leah Brown chipping in a beautiful shot for a goal and giving her team a 1-0 lead. That goal coming 6:20 into the half. This one off the crossbar late in the first half, off the foot of Britta DeMar. And DeMar to another one. Watch the play by Avery Toms, racing back and defensively playing that away and keeping that out of the Elk River net. Really a terrific play by Toms. Keep this one 1-0. Shots even. Shots on goal, one more for Elk River. Fouls 5 for the Elks, 2 for the Crimson, 1 corner kick. Pretty even, Sig, you would say, in the first 40 minutes.
It's been very even, a lot of back and forth between the two 20-yard lines. And a lot of midfield action, not too many breakaways, good solid defense on both sides. So it's going to be a a tight match all the way through.
1 week to go in the regular season, and then the playoffs get underway. We'll take a break. We'll have the second half of this one coming up from Maple Grove High School after this timeout.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
John Jacobson, Sig Ivory back at Maple Grove High School, Northwest Suburban Conference Girls Soccer. 1-0 Elk River as we head to the second half on Leah Brown's 4th goal of the season. At the 6:20 mark of the opening half. There she is, number 18. Be cool for me, Sig, for short sleeves.
Well, if you're out there running around, that's
I understand that, but it's not.
Hey, at our age,
I'm soft. I don't think I could handle it.
No, I'd be dressed from head to toe with a hat, fat jacket, and warm-up pants on.
Tell you, one of the coldest nights we've had, at least in recent years, last year when we did that doubleheader. Both of Maple Grove and at Champlain Park came over North St. Paul. Windy and cold that night.
Oh, gosh, that was awful.
Nowhere near that cold tonight or windy. The wind is still a factor, but not quite as strong as it was in the boys' match earlier, won by Maple Grove 3-1. Really battling there was Cons trying to get control, but Elk River keeping her away from getting any kind of shot on net. To the sideline, we got a throw in for Elk River. Brown gets a header on it onto the foot of Galante. Sent deep down the right side, trying to catch up to it. It was Johnson. Haven't called her name much tonight, Sig, as we mentioned double-digit score for her for Elk River this year, but
yes,
has not figured much in the play so far tonight, but certainly a dangerous player.
Yeah, she's moving around trying to get things positioned for some good play, good offensive play, but Crimson defense has been pretty stifling, except for that one goal they gave up.
Bernardson has stayed in net for Elk River. For Maple Grove, Jordan Lamker, senior goalie, now in for the Crimson. Gates getting her pass, blocked and broken up by Crawford. Maple Grove getting it back across midfield. Dropped back to Tobin. Along the sideline, Nisler after it along with Galante. The throw in, it's going to go to Maple Grove. Bretton Lund. Pass up for Klons. Gates left side missed, hitting Nisler on that pass. Elks with the throw in. Midfield. Brown back for Galante. Deflected, comes back to the Elks. On the foot of Brown now. Pass left side, race for it, getting there. Then dropped back to the middle by Johnson. A touch on it, and then sent out by Draheim toward midfield.
It's going to be a throw in for Maple Grove.
Draheim able to get it in. It's across midfield and Down into the Elks end where it'll be thrown in. By Jimenez. Header by Grove to the sideline. And sent to the sideline by Patra. And out. Throw in again for Maple Grove.
Crimson with an opportunity to get an offensive set going. And again, the Elk River defense has been all over the Crimson forwards, the attackers.
Draheim's throw in, get broken up by the Elks. Back they come, Galante. Cross midfield, Toms gets a foot on it. Here's Zahn. Right side to Omar. Out of play. Off of Omar. Quick throw in for Jimenez. Chipped ahead across midfield. Brown trying to get after it. Sent across midfield. Elk River back in their own end. This little maneuver there. But then losing the ball. Out of play was Patra, and Maple Grove getting it back. Quinn Omar. Good takeaway from her. Jimenez able to get it up to midfield to Johnson. Gates. To Omar and back. This ball, Veronica almost had a play on it. Gates will send it back. Go all to her left. Zahn will drop it back to Toms. Wall to Toms. Work it up that right side. Omar got by one Elk player, but back to play it was Emerson for Elk River. Gates trying to feed it to Veronica, and that's broken up.
It's just not quite connecting on those passes more than 10 yards.
Right. Crawford sent it to midfield, and that's sent back the other way by Maple Grove. Header, Collins chasing after it. And sent out of play, throw in Maple Grove. 7 minutes here into the second half, still 1-0. Elk River. And one went out, throw in Elk River. Tom's trying to get it to Collins.
Oh, couldn't save it. It'll be a goal kick. But I think I see a change in the Maple Grove tactics. Instead of moving the ball back and forth across the field, they're more content to send the ball up front, up on top, and then go after it.
That pass intercepted, crossing pass out in front. Trying the rebound, they score. Kelly Klon's able to score and tie it up at 1. Omar drove it toward the net. Bernardson stopped it but couldn't control the ball. And Kahn's able to put it into the back of the net for her second goal of the season. Look at it again, Omar.
Nice cross. Here comes the ball out on the rebound, and Crawford right there to put it in.
Kahn's her second. The assist for Omar, her fifth of the season. They level it out one here. Crossing pass by Elk River out in front of the Maple Grove net. Brown dropping it back out of the foot of Crawford. And that one goes wide on the short side of the net. A goal kick for Maple Grove. There's a look at the senior, Kelly Klons. Lampker with the goal kick. I didn't have a chance to talk to either Jordan or to Coach Levon before the game to see if Jordan will indeed finish out the soccer season. She's also a volleyball player as well. Hadn't played high school soccer at all. We saw her earlier in the season, the match that we did SIG, but
yes,
came out for soccer this fall, the keeper,
right,
but also plays volleyball. That starts up next. They started practices already, and their season starts next Thursday. I thought would be she'll probably finish out soccer, but again, I don't know that.
Yeah, I didn't even think about asking about that.
Here's Omar. Well, that one deflected hard off the Elks player now. So we have a corner kick here for Maple Grove.
Omar taking the kick.
And we'll see if Omar can rack up another assist.
And shot driven, and driving out to make the stop is Bernardson.
That was a close one. Nice save.
Zahn got a lot on that ball. Bernardson punching it out. Another goal kick coming. Or corner kick, excuse me, for Omar.
And we'll try it again. This time more direct.
Out in front, and it is in. I knew we had credit for a couple of players right around there.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you who scored it. There was just too many bodies.
Yeah, it looks like Sarah Nisler. They're congratulating. She might have been the one that put it in. I think she did. And Nisler puts Maple Grove ahead, 2-1. 2 goals, less than 3 minutes apart here for the Crimson. Definitely Nisler right there. Yep.
The ball came loose, and she was right there to get it.
Tom's had the first header on it, and there's Nisler on the backside. It might have already been in. That's hard to say. They're going to give Nisler the goal, but it could have been Tom's as well on the initial header. Regardless, Maple Grove will take it either way. So they're up 2-1 now.
Yeah, they don't care who scores as long as they score. So now Elk River needs to settle down a little bit. He gave up 2 goals in rapid succession. The Maple Grove, of course, now feeling that they have the momentum.
Here's a takeaway for Elk River as Maple Grove gives it away. Johnson trying to turn with it, and Maple Grove able to cover up and take it away from her. Sent by Elk River's Emerson to midfield. Zahn got a foot on it for Maple Grove, trying to take it away and does. And then well defended by Emerson and the takeaway from Elk River, but can't get it all the way out. Maple Grove sending it in front for Klons. And then the defenders get back and able to play her away from the ball, but she almost had another scoring try again. Look at it again. Here's the header by Toms.
Then it comes out. And she can't get.
Yeah, I think that's already in.
It's
so
already
that
in.
may be
You're
Tom's
right.
goal instead.
You're right.
Good look at it. Great job by our crew tonight to be able to give to you that replay. Here's another shot on net. It's in. That's 3-1 Maple Grove.
Yeah,
this one's definitely Nisler.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about placing a ball just underneath that crossbar, and that's exactly where she put it. You see it again. Here's number 4. Takes a nice high shot right over the outstretched arm of the keeper. As Nisler gets her, was her first goal. Tom's we've identified got the other goal.
The 3 goals inside of 5 minutes for Maple Grove, and all of a sudden the Crimson ahead 3-1 after Elk River had held the lead for a good 40 minutes here tonight.
Boy, this is deja vu of the boys' game.
Omar gets inside one defender but lost the ball, and Elk River getting it back. It rolls past Verona, comes to Draheim. Up in the air, played by Veronic, back to Toms. McQuall across midfield. And a break up there for Elk River. The boys' game was Elk River leading 1-0 for a long time.
Long time, but there's about 12 minutes to go.
And Maple Grove scoring 3 times late to win that one.
Yeah, they scored 2 goals within 19 seconds. So not quite as deep into the game, but so far they're exactly the same status.
Maple Grove trying to reset and keep Ava Johnson away from the ball, which they did. Sent by Lund across midfield, broken up by the Elks, but Maple Grove getting it back. Still a lot of time here, Sig, but in the first 15 minutes in the second half, and especially the last 8-9 minutes, not much ball possession time at all for Elk River. They've got to try to turn that around here.
Well, first they have to figure out how to stop the Crimson from getting all this offense.
Draheim into Klons. Crawford able to keep her off the ball. Nisler, who scored that goal a few minutes ago. And a pass break up, and a good job for Elk River to get the takeaway at midfield. But Maple Grove got it back. Going down was Klons. Ball is loose. Controlled by Maple Grove again. Zahn had a foot on it. Here's Nisler. Another shot. Rolls right into the hands of Bernardson. Boy, they are just all over Elk River right now.
Yes, they are. They're putting a lot of pressure on that defense.
Meyer playing it back down for Elk River as they try to generate some offense here, trying to get the through ball, and that broken up and driven out of play by Tom. Has really played a nice match tonight. Avery Toms had that stop as a defender in the first half. Headed in that second goal here tonight off the corner kick, and he's played very good along that end line.
Yep, that's a good look at Tom's number 11.
Under 23 and a half minutes to go here in the second half. Maple Grove with a 3-1 lead on Elk River. Again, teams that could face each other in the upcoming Section 8 AA playoffs that begin in 13 days.
It's very possible.
A ball out. We'll get a throw in for Maple Grove.
You know, with both teams in the middle of the pack in the standings, depending on how they do the seedings in the sections, they could end up playing each other.
There's Elk River trying to move it upfield with Colas. Pass ahead and it rolls all the way back to Lamker. Broken up by Gates on the pass attempt by Colas. Throw in Elk River. Header and then played up in the air by Lund of Maple Grove.
Good battle for the ball there.
Nice takeaway by Baranek. Ahead for Kelly Klons. Has a goal tonight and getting back into the play, Emerson. And then a shot and a save made by Bernardson. Nissler, another shot on net. And Bernardson able to make the stop.
The Maple Grove have been very picky about their shots. They have 6 shots taken and 6 on goal in the second half.
Here's Gates.
Oh, try to bring it back to their backfield, but ended up. Here's a problem.
Here's Johnson with it. Shot will go wide and out of play.
Couldn't really get anything on it, and no way to get the ball to the other attacker on the far side.
Brianna Sullivan, Allison Lindblom, both in the match for Maple Grove. And a Kramers as well, number 22. We're nearing the midway point of the second half. Maple Grove 3, Elk River 1. Not that we're necessarily headed that way, but no overtime again during the regular season for high school soccer in Minnesota. That'll change in the playoffs. Ball across midfield. Header, and the back line stopped and cleared away by Quall, the midfield.
And just got rid of it in nick of time as 2 attackers were right there with her. Here comes Maple Grove. Player
Going
goes down, no
was
call.
Kramers. Elks got it back. Played in the middle by Baranek. Nissler, Kramers back to Nissler. And drive it through to Lindblom, and that got broken up. Well played by the Elks, and Lund across midfield. Onto the foot of Sullivan. Take away by Elk River. To the sideline. That is off of Maple Grove, off Draheim. We'll get a throw in. Substitutes for Elk River now. Rother, Gregory, Tobin in for Elk River as the ball comes toward midfield.
Because the big problem right now for Elk River is that they are losing control of the ball in the midfield, and they are not getting any good shots on the other end. Maple Grove, on the other hand, is doing a good job of moving the ball upfield and putting the pressure on.
Throw in for Maple Grove. By Lund, played by Rother. Out, ball is loose, shot is high and out of play.
Shot just right by Kylie Veronic.
Bernardson on the goal kick. So we wind down to 17 minutes to play. Take away for Maple Grove, but can't do anything with it. Elk River got a touch on it, trying to squeeze through there at midfield, now retreating with the ball. It was Hitty, now onto the foot of Lingman. Nisler at midfield, ball loose, tried to get it back for one of her teammates, but instead it's Elk River that takes it.
Elk River with an attack.
Draheim coming back, well played by her, and got the ball to Omar. Deflected. Elks have it, then Omar gets a foot on it, right to the sideline and kept in by Gregory of Elk River. Pushed ahead by Rother to midfield.
Maple Grove picks it up and Omar has it. Trying to get around the defender. It just brings the ball back. Now all of a sudden we see Maple Grove changing their tactic again. Now they're going back to their backfield to move the ball around and then bring it up forward.
Qual with it. Sidesteps an Elk player. Will send it across midfield. Set back by Gregory. It's right to Draheim of the Crimson. Able to keep it nicely in play to Omar. Cross midfield. Stopped by Lindblom. Played ahead. Race for the ball as Sullivan goes after it, but Elk River there first and driven out, but we will get a throw in for Maple Grove. Ella Godfredson and Ella Conger in for Maple Grove. Three goals for Maple Grove here in the second half have put the Crimson up on Elk River 3-1.
And more importantly, they've really managed to control the play.
Really haven't been any scoring chances at all here in the second half for Elk River.
No, they had 2 shots, none on goal in the second half. They spend the vast majority of their time on defense.
Draheim stopping now, gets the ball in play. Conger. Kremers cross to the middle, trying to get it to Lindblom. That's broken up by Elk River. Chipped ahead by Lingman across midfield. Ball played back from Lamcrew. Quickly gets rid of it before the Elks can get it.
That was a little scary. Elk River needs this desperately to get a offensive attack going. Now having trouble maintaining control of the ball. Crimson come up with it. Whoops, there's a miss. I think we had a handball.
They'll get a free kick and a good opportunity here for Elk River.
Yeah, they're about 22 and a half, maybe 23 yards out. Two-person wall.
Kendra Lingman on the ball here for Elk River.
And she'll go right for the net. Yep.
And sends it high over the crossbar and out of play.
There was a little bit too much underneath it, because I could see that one coming. Nobody else was moving in position. She was going to go right for the net. Good idea.
But really the closest thing that Elk River's had to a scoring chance here in the second half.
Yes, it is.
It wasn't actually on net. Ball across midfield by Maple Grove, chipped high in the air. And midfield whistle and an Elk River foul. Godfredson. Kremers, who worked the ball in the middle, intercepted by Elk River. Driven by Meyer out toward midfield. That's broken up by Maple Grove. Ball coming to Omar. Omar gets herself free. Blocked. It's back to Omar. And out of play. Throw in Maple Grove. Micah Modine, junior, forward back in for Maple Grove. Jimenez, DeMar, Coles, Crawford, all back in for Elk River. Now we get the throw in by Draheim. A lot of traffic there in front. Elk River able to clear it up. Lund sends it all the way to the left side. Short pass. Here's Nisler. Draheim coming back into the play, though. Elk River, Johnson had a foot on it, couldn't control it.
Yep, she came charging in there and caused that turnover. Be a goal kick for Maple Grove.
7 in for the Crimson, number 23, Macy Sides.
Macy Sides back in. Upcoming on CCX, our final regular season action in soccer next Tuesday, Metro West Conference, St. Louis Park and Cooper. And then we get into volleyball and football season. Recent returnees to the fall sports season. Our season opener in volleyball, Osseo at Ticino Greats next Thursday at 7 o'clock. And next Friday, high school football, defending state champion Wayzata will take on Prior Lake. See all those games live on CCX and then section soccer in under 2 weeks. It's like fall part 2, Sig.
It is.
And a lot of fun covering extended soccer this fall,
Yes.
being able to get to all of our local schools at least once. And
That's been the fun part. We're seeing a lot of schools that we don't normally get to take a look at, and a lot of good games.
Ball played ahead across midfield. It's Lindblom for the Crimson, looking for somewhere to go with it. Nice footwork by her. Able to feed it on her left to Modine. Modine working 1v1 there versus Tobin. Hammer's trying to squeeze through a couple of Elk players. Everybody down.
No foul.
Whistle at all. Play goes on. We'll get a throw in for Maple Grove.
It was almost a scrum over there. Kicked out but not cleared out. It goes over the touchline. You would see the battle for it. Just 1, 2, 3 players.
The old saying in pickup basketball, no blood, no foul.
Right.
Something like that. It was pretty rough.
That looked kind of nasty, didn't it? The referee stop play, so it's going to be a drop ball.
Rivers got it back out onto the foot of Conger. Conger getting the return pass from Sullivan. Broken up by Elk River. Able to keep it in play. Nope. It went out. Throw in for Maple Grove.
Elk River just missing on getting that ball back so they can get an attack mounted the other direction because they need a goal pretty fast.
Under 6 minutes to go. Header out off of Crawford. Throw in for the Crimson again. Charlie Draheim on the throw in. Ball skipping toward the front of the net. It's loose and finally gathered in by Bernardson. Modine right there for Maple Grove, but Bernardson able to cover up. That one off of Meyer of Elk River. Throw in for Maple Grove. I'll have another one here. 4:40 to go.
Maple Grove content to stay in the Elk River zone.
Lund. DeMar tried to take it away from her. Those two still after it. And now DeMar has it for Elk River. Chip it ahead. Headed back by Toms. Through ball attempt. Here's a chance.
Oh.
And Draheim gets back before Galante could get a shot on goal. All the way back at the other end. Here's Modine for the Crimson. Stops working against Patra there. Kremers goes down and ball to the sideline. Kept in by Modine, lost, and Patra knocking it out, throw in for Maple Grove.
Elk River with an opportunity. 3-on-3.
Ball played back, trying to feed it to head to Johnson. Avery Toms there to drive it out for Maple Grove. Throw in for Elk River. A takeaway for Maple Grove for Krimmers. It's sent across midfield by Brianna Sullivan. Going down as she was headed toward the net was Modine. Played by Colas out to midfield for the Elks. Controlled in play, cross to the middle by Jimenez. Now out, throw in for Jimenez and the Elks with 2 minutes to go in the match. Tom's able to keep it away from Johnson and onto the foot of Conger.
Nice through pass.
Run down the sideline by Sullivan. Out of play. Off of Sullivan. It'll be a throw in for Elk River. Ball loose middle of the field and then played by Colas. Out to midfield as we're under a minute to go.
Maple Grove again winning the ball in the midfield.
DeMar able to take it away there from Conger. Here come the Elks on the move late, but lost, and Godfredson able to drive it back across midfield for Maple Grove. Sides with it, back to Godfredson. Trying to get it to Lund, out of play. Throw in for the Elks. Be taken here and thrown back into play. And out of play by Elk River, and Maple Grove will get final throw in as the seconds wind down. And Maple Grove will close out the home portion of the regular season with a win. Sig, they started the year with 3 straight losses, have been unbeaten since, with now 6 wins and a tie since that 0-3 start. And they win it tonight 3-1.
They played a good, solid game. I loved the game. It was a lot of action, a lot of activity, good defense on both sides. Maple Grove took a while to get on track, and they finally did with those 3 successive goals in the second half. I thought Elk River played a really good game. They have a lot of skill. They just kind of ran out of gas in the second half.
Second half goals for Kelly Klons, Avery Toms, and Sarah Nisler. 2 assists for Quinn Omar. Elk River's lone goal coming in the first half off the foot of Leah Brown. A good win for the Crimson, and again, we've mentioned these teams could play again in Section 8 AA coming up in mid-October. That will do it for our coverage tonight. Hope you've enjoyed all the action. For Sig Ligery and all of our crew, I'm John Jacobson. Final score again tonight from Maple Grove High School. The Maple Grove Crimson 3, the Elk River Elks 1.